Hello, everyone. It's May.
And Raz.
As you can see, with our names in the corner.
Yay.
So, you said you've played the Stanley Parable before.
Yes.
Well, let's play. We've not done it on this console, though. So, I'm going to set it up mostly for you. That good?
Yep.
The current time is 8:31 p.m. Cool. So, you play as you wish.
Okay. The end is never. The end is never. Never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh,
I'm here just for commentary.
Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such only 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it.
Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Is this what you were expecting?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. A true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment. A willingness to go all the way no matter.
Also, sorry we haven't
Why
been
don't you
streaming,
go
guys.
for 20
The internet
clicks in a door
here has been
number
kind of crap.
417.
It's going to be down the hallway, I think. Hey, we just saw my favorite office number.
420.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Oh, right there.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
We'll have to go back to where 417 was, and then...
It was 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
I love the gusto. Now got to door number 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
This game is all about following instructions. That's all it is.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Oh, the copy machine, right?
Yep.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 4. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow.
And since even though I have pop-ups disabled,
You really
we know
have
we got it.
Nothing
Yeah.
could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Oh, so you know what to do here.
If I can remember how to get up.
I knew you were going to go for this
At
sending.
first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think?
I think I
Isn't
should have
this
come here with a
fun and
bucket.
unique place to be.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one.
I love how meta this game
Which
is.
choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky.
Yeah.
Now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
So I think the best... Is there an option for... Oh, begin the game again. Yep. Oh, we need to find the bucket.
I think this is where they include the bucket. Do you know? Do you understand the significance of the bucket?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The significance is that it's insignificant.
Okay, so the answer is no.
When Stanley
Oh, I
came
think I
a
have
set of
to-
2 open doors,
So I get to
he
actually
entered
beat the
the
game
door on his
properly
left.
first.
Yes. So let's do that.
No, me and Maz did this
Yet
a
there
little
was
bit
not a
ago,
single
and
person here either.
we did have the bucket,
Feeling
and I
a wave of
forgot.
disbelief, Stanley
I forgot
decided
that
to go
I did.
up
I
to
have.
his
We have
boss's
done that.
office. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
But I had
so
to.
he turned around and got back on track.
So anyway,
This game
There
is.
was nothing here.
This game is one
No choice to
of
make,
my favorites for
no
one
path
reason:
to follow,
the banter.
Just an
Yeah.
empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
We like banter.
and yet here we are. I wonder what radioactive material is
It
on
was
that right there.
baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Since as you
He
can
wasn't
clearly see the
even doing
radioactive
anything.
symbol.
At least if there
Yeah.
was something to interact
Although
with,
some spools
he'd be
do look like
justified
that.
in
I
some
know.
way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
FA, for people who don't understand, means fuck all.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
It's just to confuse and piss off the narrator.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
By the way, this is also peak British humor,
Mention it.
Yeah.
and we like British humor.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was mine." Your friends find this concerning.
Are you concerned that I'm going for the broom closet ending?
No.
Okay.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Well-
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Eh.
That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Cool.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system. situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone.
Is it weird that this game feels like it's made by the Douglas Adams family?
Before it begins to decompose.
No, it makes sense.
Anyone who happens to be nearby.
I have expected to see Zayfly Beeblebrox or Arthur Dent or someone.
Right.
Number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of...
And the reason why Raz is playing and not me is because Raz does better with first person than I do. Like, I can watch first person, I can't do it.
All right. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before.
Now you go back right in.
You too. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
It doesn't trigger a third time, does it? Nope.
No.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I do think that until we get the internet situation sorted, we can just
Staring
record.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
You know the
human
code?
life.
Not off the top of my head.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could
I don't
not
know if you
have
heard
known
that.
was that the key
I did, but I
behind
didn't
the boss's
hear
desk
it.
guarded the terrible
Oh, it
truth
said
that
8.
his boss had been keeping from
So does that mean I
Do you
just
know?
got
Do you know
So the
why it
boss
did
had
that?
assigned
for the
an
8888
extra
achievement?
secret
Nope.
pin number.
Well, that might be an achievement.
2845.
Or trophy.
Oh,
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his, yet incredibly, by simply pushing
so
random buttons
in
on
the
keypad,
demo,
Stanley
there's a
happened to
button
input the
that
correct
you
code.
press it, and
On
it just
sheer
it's
luck.
got 8
Amazing.
label on it, and you
He
just press it,
stepped
and it goes
into the
8,
newly opened passageway.
8, 8.
So there's a lot of throwbacks to the original demo here.
Yes.
The other thing I will say is that certain parts of the Stanley Parable feel like the back rooms.
Yeah.
Except in here, you don't die.
Well, it's impossible to die in the back rooms.
Descending deeper into the building.
I don't know what
Stanley
happens
realized he
when
felt
things
a
happen in the
little
back rooms, but
It was a stirring
But they
of
happen.
emotion
supposedly
in his chest, as though he
it's
felt
not
more
possible
free
to die
think
while
for
you're in the
himself,
back rooms,
to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this
which just
now,
makes things
when
even
for
more
years
creepy.
It had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
But we are following the main story now, aren't we?
Yes.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Are you the
Horrible
Matrix?
secret was told, Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
All this and more on the next episode of The Stanley Parable. There's a way to fall off and die here, isn't there?
Something. It's like.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their
Like, there's a way to technically climb up on the desk, on one of the desks, and go over.
building.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The lives of
We'll get a
so
next,
many individuals
playthrough.
reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them,
Oh, there it is.
this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where you show up on the confusion ending.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Fired.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I was so tempted to hit on the bomb ending.
The bomb ending.
And a rising chill of
That's why you have those numbered buttons, right? The bomb ending.
Well, basically you go into that room and there's just a countdown timer. It's like he did everything he could to stop this, but it's part of the ending. It's impossible to.
Himself from someone else's
It's impossible to stop the bomb.
Freedom was
Yeah.
mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
By the way, isn't there also an ending where you have to do you do all the other endings and then you come back to this one?
I don't know.
As sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered.
There was one ending that
For it
takes
was
you
not
like
knowledge or
far
even
into the
power
future.
that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand.
There's also the suicide ending.
To let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Is that the one that we were discussing a little bit ago on the catwalks?
That might. I don't think so.
That was all he needed.
I don't remember how to get to that one.
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
You know, why don't I bring up all the endings in the Stanley Parable?
But we're looking for the. But we're not going for the standard endings.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, we still got to go back and choose yes.
Looks like we've got so many things to do now.
Yeah. Oh, the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I hope there's the bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh yeah, we got to hit all the.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah, I would have already gotten motion sickness by now.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Do I go?
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Jump,
The fact
jump,
is that
jump.
The story has been about, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do.
The suicide ending.
This is one of them.
And plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
All right.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I could have sworn that
there's a red button thing.
there's a bucket that you can pick up.
There is. And this is the edition to do it, because this is the Ultimate Edition. Oh,
Oh, right there.
No matter how hard.
Oh, I think you have to do that across multiple playthroughs, don't you?
Yes. The input received, yes. So I could go and off myself again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
No, we
by
didn't
the
check the
employee
broom
lounge
closet.
first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room.
Just go, go,
What
go,
a
go, go, go,
beautiful
go.
room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door.
I think if you do it fast enough, he goes, wow, you're not even going to give me the chance to finish my sentence.
Yep.
Directions. It's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
And now we're not going to jump to our death.
We're not going to jump to our death.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
No, that was just for the suicide ending, because that was actually the quickest way to do that.
Investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. This what? Really? I was in the middle of something.
Oh, that was where it was.
For others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to.
We are getting to the acid trip part of this game.
Yes.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red.
We're being completely defiant this time.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this chosen world? Don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here.
We are not doing the baby ending.
The map, because you were supposed to be here in the first place.
We don't have
Sure.
to.
Rooms,
That's a lot of fucking time.
I know.
is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that?
In fact, we're going to kill the baby.
And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see.
We're dropping the pretenses. We're boarding cell.
Help elucidate the strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me, you give me absolutely nothing. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were.
Second door, second door, second door.
Stanley, take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version.
1.
Would you say that the game benefited
No,
from
you know,
allowing
2,
you
yeah.
more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Answer honestly.
Honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of
I am going to try to keep this going a bit.
I think the art world will really
I was gonna say, he actually has an amazing reaction if you don't do it at all.
I know.
For about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's a...
By the way, he's not kidding about the 4 hours thing.
I know.
I like how you're letting it get closer and closer every single time.
Yeah. That's about as close as I think I can let it get.
I think you got slightly closer that time.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve...
I was going to do it, and then it was drowning the dog.
I'm not even going to try.
So you have to try to balance between the baby and the dog.
Thank you for playing.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely valuable. Oh, hey,
By the way, doesn't that happen like 2 hours in?
Huh? Not 2 hours. It's.
Let's see. What do we have?
I know it's a few minutes in at least.
Yes.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this
Isn't
game
this
is about, Stan?
isn't this actually another game? Technically?
Yes.
What is our motivation?
Like the Ranger Station game, I think. Wait, that was made by the same people?
There's a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Twisted erotic
What a
purpose.
fascinating venture into the experience
19
of total
something.
mental depravity. So far, I love
1989.
everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come.
Oh wait, that is the name of the other game, isn't
What
it?
else is
I
out
think.
there?
I think this is like a fire.
Or Fire Outpost something.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, it's actually a really good game.
Yeah. Apparently, I went the wrong way.
But no, the Stanley Parable is actually a genius of a game.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Jonesy Lake.
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
I think originally it was Minecraft. Oh, God.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Is this Rocket League?
Yeah.
For you to run around in it. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
We're gonna jump down the hole, aren't we? Oh wait, that's not a hole.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's...
It's a sports ball game.
Run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Am I shrinking?
I think you might be.
I'm coming closer to the ground.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out.
I think the closer you get it to the goal, the more you shrink.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come.
Goodbye. Now we're in the back rooms.
Yeah. No, we just do this until...
We just do it.
Mm-hmm. Until the game resets itself.
We're not going to go for a full playthrough here. We're just here to have a fun time tonight.
I kind of want to know where the bucket is.
You want me to look up?
Yeah.
It's like that I can look up.
There we go.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make.
Oh, you have to complete the
fear and the confusion.
the sequel ending.
That is what I mean to this world.
Does it say where that one is?
There's no other way.
I gotta click on that
Once
one.
this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
The skip button ending. Exit Stanley's office and skip button ending.
I hate Mondays.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, we just need to get 2 or 3 different endings because we've already completed the Stanley Parable.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
That would do it. This is what we were looking for.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video
Oh,
game
so yeah.
released in 2013.
This is going to be a little bit of a longer.
After
Yes.
receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The
And here we are
Stanley
playing it
Parable
3
Ultra
years
Deluxe
later.
features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
They actually didn't add that much to the Ultra Deluxe.
No.
Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a...
But they did add a couple new endings, and they added the bucket.
The bucket. Yes.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right.
We're at the jump circle.
The jump circle?
By the way, once you deplete them, they never come back.
No.
Just gonna use them all? Mm-hmm. Cool.
Why not?
Exactly. Wait, we should hold on to one.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I thought he was going to say something.
Well, we used our jumps.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game...
The jump button.
It's
Be
just
very nice for that
jump.
white screen ending.
Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Down to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. You've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally.
On what?
It's my fault, Stanley.
Uh-oh.
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have
They
lived
didn't
up to
expect
such expectations.
they didn't expect Elon Musk to enter the world.
Just reset the game. And we'll
They also didn't anticipate the Spanish Inquisition. Then again, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, fair.
Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
What the? Oh, what did that mug say?
Which one?
It was up on the...
I hate Mondays.
So it's a Garfield mug.
Yeah.
Because that actually came about because of Garfield.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay.
Loading zones.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my...
We're on our way to the bucket ending.
So I can relive the peak
Or
experiences
to getting the
of my
bucket.
life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port?
The British Academy of Film and Television Arts awarded to The Last of Us.
Games had integrity.
Audience award, The Stanley Parable.
Wait, is that the actual box for the Stanley Parable?
It might have been. Wait. Yep, that is actually what it said for the music.
Oh, did you have a physical copy at one?
Not a physical. I did download. I did remember getting it. Deals tough choices.
What's the point of having a bench if you can't sit in it? Any game.
Is that a piano?
That's a piano. Like the one we had downstairs, actually.
Yeah.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand.
And also, folks,
the original
if we pull away before you guys get a chance to finish reading it, don't worry, you can always hit the pause button.
Yep.
It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now...
Hey, Persona mentioned! Persona mentioned!
No games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Person of the year.
Eh.
The Doors.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in.
The irony of this whole rant is the fact that it is literally new content for the game.
Couldn't even do that.
People play games because of what they can
Do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they
They
can't
can't
do
do anything.
anything. By the way, that's why I like nihilism. This is very much a nihilistic game.
Mm-hmm.
The serious room.
Wait.
Should have saved that jump. I think we have to actually leave.
Oh, I remember the serious room. So that was a special ending. If you activated the console and put in a cheat.
But we have no way to do it here.
Oh.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back and have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years.
Pressurized Gas.
What's been collecting down here?
I never even heard of
These reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
No, probably not.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical
I love
insights
the whole
that I can't
joke
even imagine
behind this being like the game is still technically under construction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking. I always work, to be honest.
I mean, it's actually a very short game, but...
Like, if you were to actually play this game from, like, proper beginning to proper end, it's a 5-minute game.
Well, not only that, but but once you play through all the endings...
What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
There's only one achievement that you have to get through, either manipulating your time clock, your internal time clock, or...
Yep.
Like a failure.
Literally put down the game and not come back to it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Isn't quite as sterling as I always remember. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes.
Wait.
Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
This is what I was thinking
Not
of.
if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
Oh, don't we use that skip button for the future?
Today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy...
Oh, yeah, you get the bucket at the end of all this, don't you?
Of course. I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more
bye.
profound... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been...
Oh, shit.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness.
Also like how the tree dies.
Yep.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you
What?
ever been in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Yeah, that's why I want to hit the skip button.
To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
The door's gone.
Yeah.
Our narrator's dead. Oh, that's gonna get annoying.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is
There's
never
never
the
the
end,
end. There's never the
is
end.
never
There's
the
never the
end,
end.
is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never.
I was gonna say, in one of these, doesn't something fall down?
Yeah, we just keep going.
We are skipping through time. So the apocalypse has happened. Told ya.
Yeah.
How far away can we wander? By the way, something like this would actually be very terrifying to the human psyche.
Don't hit the skip button again. Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The irony of this game is this is actually part of the non-linearity of the game itself.
Yeah.
New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ah!
Doesn't something happen if you get back on it? Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
By the way, the game is actually a really good game.
Nonsense, I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, okay, so this is... So yeah, this is where, we're still technically on the bucket route.
Yeah.
By the way, technically, there's another ending if you take the bucket through all this.
I know.
So many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement.
Excuse me.
Right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress, innovation, and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be. But let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing.
New content. The new content bus.
Organize a handful of interesting concepts.
Yam City, man.
The game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Let's see, we've got jump circle, infinite hole. The new updated ray traced, more of the same but in a good way sequel to the office decorations. Oh, hey, we've got merch.
It's like, is the Stanley Parable a long game? Yes, but actually no.
Yeah.
Or no, but actually yes.
Red is the new orange. Whole new office. The baby is all grown up.
I just heard a very familiar noise there. That's literally the sound of like a cell phone going off across the radio signal.
The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of...
You ready, Jim?
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Groovy!
Jim. Whoa, hold on.
Earthworm Jim.
Finish setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish.
Interrupt him.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever.
Are you happy now? Get out of here.
Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I work very
Okay. That sounds like our plan, doesn't it?
Okay. Jim.
It's like, oh right, it's just a stupid...
name Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
The infinite... Oh, I loved it. I love that.
Wait, I saw...
Ooh. Free trophy.
Now, something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay, guess it's not happening. I didn't press it enough. Okay, there's other things to do.
This is Stream Team. We don't have other things to do.
There's the infinite hole.
Oh, you're right. I spoke out of turn. I apologize.
Haven't we seen yet?
That looks like that's almost exactly what I expected Stanley to look like.
Ooh. Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, that's creepy.
You know what I have to say about that? Cool. We collected something.
Yep.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
You know, I kind of agree with that to a degree. Are we heading to the infinite hole yet? Oh, it says no screenshots.
I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could.
So I think you should take a screenshot here.
Like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday.
Here, let me.
Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Well, okay.
So all you have to do is
there's one stuck down there.
With mine you just touch the button and it'll take the screenshot that way. Hey, it said no screenshots, please.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Ooh, what is this?
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
You knew what you were doing there.
Mm-hmm.
Now to the infinite hole?
Yep.
Yes. This is the one that's not technically infinite, but it goes down really, really far, right?
Yes.
It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions.
I'll hold on to that for you.
Yeah. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop.
Which we're not going to touch.
And we can continue onward.
Oh.
Or actually, no, we do need to touch.
Yeah, let's touch it once.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
There we go.
Okay, and I guess we're back. See it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite O. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and
Just so I can
very
censor it a
much
little
like
bit.
to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually
New mug.
long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was
Meeting at
Come on.
2 p.m.
Actually wants to fall forever. The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion.
Just the
Two of us. We can make it if we try.
Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole.
The funny thing is, if we go back up to the surface and fall back down in, he'll get pissed off again.
Oh, I know.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. It's too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. It goes on forever to the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel...
There's a lot of
like you
cigarette
spent a
butts
little
down
less
there.
time
Yeah.
in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positive.
Nope, we haven't.
I really, gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay, yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not in... How is this still appealing? Depth. I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Nah. The hole's moving downwards.
So yeah, technically, whenever we finally get to a new game, we get a bucket.
Yeah.
Hi, Stanley. Change your perspective. Now this is becoming more of an infinite hole.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Puppies! I like that one. I don't like that. That one's okay. This reminds me of the acid trip I thought I was on when I was on that acid trip.
Yeah.
Stanley? 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 Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single minute. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stan. I'll be back. Toodle.
Back to sleep.
Don't they eventually get the teleport button fixed?
Something like that. Oh, never mind.
Oh, even better.
Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Oh, I think the game has to do that to get you out.
You know where we're going?
Back to the hole?
Of course.
Oh, it's boarded up now. Oh, no. It's...
Yeah. They keep you from going in.
Alright. Let's get done with this ending.
Okay.
The funny thing is, this game is mostly just a bunch of cheap achievements. That's all it is.
Yes. Well,
Then, you know...
this one, yes. Oh, wait. We missed something.
What did we miss?
And I want to make sure we get it so that way it's available.
The reassurance bucket.
Yes.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem of the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on.
And also, your character becomes very reliant on it.
Yeah.
You feel perfectly normal, and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? The bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of...
And now we have unlocked.
Despair, must already be sweeping.
It's...
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more.
Bucket. Just pick it up.
In the Stanley Parable, too.
Oh, and the door's open.
Yep. Want to make sure we got the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
The button that says Jim.
It isn't already.
That's Jim.
Now we can head for the exit. Too bad we can't go back to the hole.
I know, right?
But you know what? We can redo this while holding the bucket.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
My question is are they ever going to make a Stanley Parable 2? Probably not.
No, this was the last I think they did of it. The idea was supposed to be, guys, it did exactly what it was meant to do the first time. We really don't need to do more. I know you guys, because this is technically the Stanley Parable 2 and onward.
You know, the funny thing is, they should make the Stanley Parable 3.
Technically, if you play this enough, you get to the Stanley Parable 3. And the number just keeps going up.
Oh, wow.
That's the joke.
Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go, version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
Yes, it is.
I very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a...
So, should we just do the normal ending with the bucket, or do we want to do a couple more endings before we quit? Call
Try a
it.
couple of other
Compromising
endings.
conviction. This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Electric
See if I can
Boogaloo.
whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Let's begin. By the way, shoutouts to the people who made this game.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
This... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The
Stanley
balloons.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Get well someday.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think if you go downstairs, that's what causes the whole back rooms thing.
That one causes one where it doesn't end.
Oh, right.
Where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It deserves the bucket.
The broom closet's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Stanley, don't give in. Don't
Hand over the bucket.
over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. We're getting into name calling now, it seems. Is This is how low the broom closet has hand over the bucket. Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences
Can you drop the bucket?
you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled.
Doesn't that stay on it for the rest of the time?
I think it might.
Take our hike broom closet with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets.
Let's go up.
Order of things.
Oh, and
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the box.
do you remember what the password was?
28.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now,
I thought it was 2847 or something like
the
that.
bucket's warmth and guiding light pierced the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss
2845.
near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
And okay. And this is where things start going different.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him.
I like how this game kind of gaslights you about the bucket more and more.
Oh, yeah.
Uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh, this is the only place you can get up on the thing and then jump to your doom.
Lights rose on an enormous room.
Because you can get on the chair, I
television
think.
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps.
Hey, we got a couch.
Nope.
After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well.
Oh, God.
Also, a kitchenette that was useful.
Oh, no.
when the bucket was craving
What?
convenience. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like
It unsettled the bucket.
The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed.
You know, the narrator does kind of have a point. We do have a thing about holes as humans.
And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality
Hell,
of things,
you see a giant hole out in the middle of nowhere. What's everyone's first instinct? To grab a rock and throw something in there.
Yeah.
the two of them waited for a very long
Or throw a rock in there, yeah. Mainly because we want to gauge how deep the hole is.
Okay.
Do we still have our bucket?
No.
All of
We
his
started over.
coworkers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Why do I feel like I'm being gaslit?
Welcome to the Stanley Parable. And now we're going to complete the proper ending, aren't we?
A wave of comfort rushed over.
No, we're not. Oh, we need to go choose yes. With the bucket.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley.
We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land.
The countless wars?
Humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein.
Wow.
Sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception.
And by the way, this whole VOD is going up on... Oh, not VOD, but this whole video is going up on the channel.
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could
There's a
not
lot of
conceive
bucket
the
lore.
ramifications of...
Stanley screamed.
Stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid!
As Stanley screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations
12
to
emblems of
summon
sages?
We would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
We're going to grab the bucket again.
Of course.
What the?
in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
You know what? Thank you for that recorded message.
Yeah.
Do you know what we also need to grab, though?
The confusion and the chaos all seem
Oh,
to melt
and we have
away
one more
as
monitor to turn
Stanley
off there.
embraced the bucket.
You know what? We're just going to do a normal ending this time.
Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it.
Oh, I forgot about the second sticker.
It's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the
Are we
sticker
sure
is
we don't want to go
also
down?
a bucket.
Wait, it was 2845?
Stanley
Yeah.
and the bucket
Okay.
walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We'll do that next time. How about that?
Okay.
We'll do a part 2.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
But you know what?
So,
I
implore
didn't
you to
realize
savor
this was a
each and every
bathroom.
moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
But the thing is, we are definitely going to be trying to collect all 6 of those at some point. What's the other door? Okay, so we'll explore that one next time, I think.
I've never been this way.
You never have?
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna explore.
Of course.
Gotta love elevator music.
Yep.
You know, the funny thing is, elevator music actually has a niche following.
Oh, I know.
I'm part of that following. Hey, elevator music can be really nice and good.
Yeah. You are a bucket!
You are a pail to fill things with. You are a sad, strange little man.
If it makes you feel any better, we can name it Charlie.
Charlie Bucket.
Charlie Bucket! He's at it again!
'Cause suddenly I begin to pee. 'Cause I've got a gold.
What do you get when you guzzle down sweets?
Diab-
Type 2 adult onset diabetes.
Type 2 adult onset diabetes.
Type 2 adult onset diabetes. Uh-oh.
Is it shaking more and more? Have you noticed?
Kind of. Okay, so that just happened. 2845.
Stepping into his manager's office,
Let me double
Stanley
check
was
on
once
that.
again stunned to discover not an indication
Yep.
of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket is love. The bucket is life.
The bucket is a bucket. King Shark is a shark.
It's a bucket.
Gentlemen, this is a bucket. Dear
God.
Stanley and the bucket
There's
walked
more.
straight ahead through the
No.
mind control facility.
But I think this is where we're going to end the videos with this ending.
The lights
And then, like I said, we have something to look forward to for next week. Because next week we'll explore more.
Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Told you guys I was going to bringing you more long-form content.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Hey, number 104 got fired.
The office was being videotaped, monitored.
Wait, where's 420?
The bucket had never seen anything like
What?
this, and it very nearly burst into tears. as
Show us the
Stanley
numbers.
cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Oh, it's right there. How about 42?
Next time the numbers come around, we'll look for it, right?
Yep. 42's there too.
Was the
42.
bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's weak mind. No! He screamed into the bucket.
If he has the Ultra Deluxe content, you can find a Stanley minifigure behind the secret doorway.
The bucket tighter. His one
The
friend in the entire
secret
world.
door?
Yeah, that we just sent.
He could trust
We didn't actually look. So you know what? We'll do that next time.
But here was the
We're not doing the bomb ending this time.
controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored.
But you know
and
what?
commanded from
We'll
this
have our
very
trusty bucket
place.
with us when we do it.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another
Jim.
human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for... Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
I love that the fact that the bucket changes so much dialogue.
Every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life
the hell?
they envisioned, but it was
Right.
one they lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
Oh yeah, with the bucket, the door gets stuck.
The door stopped. Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
All right, folks. The sequel is now paused. So, hope you all enjoyed this video. Honestly, this is a very fun game. But we hope you enjoyed watching. We'll probably do another video next week because I don't know if we'll have the internet dealt with by then.
Okay.
But if we don't have the internet dealt with by then and we're not streaming, you'll get a video in the next day or so after Friday.
Okay.
So take care of yourselves and each other.
See ya.
And remember, don't forget your bucket.